When you talk about bringing in a winning culture and cultivating guys to their point of where they can be a two-time MVP, I mean, he's the guy. Like, he's the only coach in the NFL history who's been able to win a playoff game in each of his 5 seasons. If that's not winning, I don't know what is. So if you're able to bring that, not only that attitude, but then you bring guys like Evan Neal, Illuminor, Azudu to protect Jackson Dark, and add guys like Isaiah Likely, Darnell Mooney to, again, give him more weapons. Then, I mean, you could get things going. You could get this offense going. I mean, you could tell by the suit, right? I'm going Jordan Love. The way that he's become a point guard for the Green Bay Packers, he controls the pace of the game. I got to see him grow as a quarterback, with Aaron Rodgers and getting to learn from him for 3 years and really elevate his game. I'm going J Love. I love the way he plays. I love the way he controls the offense and the juice that he brings to his team. I think the attention to detail is otherworldly. And again, he took that from Aaron because when you talk about 2 minutes offense, I don't even need a coach when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. Like, hey, I got this. This is me. He took that and made it his own with the Cali swag that he's got. I got a chance to actually go out to California and work out with him. I mean, the arm angles, his feet angles, his hips, every single thing, every minute detail is what they talk about, they harp on. So the work ethic that he's given to get to the point of where he is, I've seen it, and I believe 100% in it. You can't always assume that your defense is going to be as good as they are. And like you say, yes, it's great to have 6 comeback wins, to be the Iceman. It's all cool. But, like, every year you're not going to have one of the best defenses in the league to have 31-plus takeovers and, win in turnover differential. That's not going to happen every year. But I would like to add he's made it to the playoffs every single year, no matter what. So if we're going to add who we want for the next 10 years, I'd rather make it to the playoffs than have the cute long. I get the chicks dig the long ball, but I would rather make it to the playoffs. But when you talk about formula, I love that you bring that up. Let's talk about chemistry. And they're having a really hard problem with chemistry. And it got to a point where we're talking more about what's happening off the field than what's happening on. So if we're going to get to the point where there's this much strife, this much back and forth, I say Eagles trade them, get an earlier first-round pick, get an old lineman to back up Lane Johnson. He's getting up there at 35 years old. We've all been in those locker rooms where we're hearing chirps, whether it's inside the locker room, whether it's in the meeting room, whether it's from media. It chips away at you. It chips away at the chemistry. Well, we were buddies now, but now, Wednesday night we usually go get 10-cent wings, and now it's like, I got something else to do. Like, it's just a slow thing that happens. When you start to have the outside noise come in and these differing of opinions, it starts to tear away at your team. It starts to tear away at the chemistry, the formula that you were talking about. So I'd rather it just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's see if we could start fresh like a Stephon Diggs situation with Minnesota and see if we could get something that's best fit for both parties. Absolutely. And when you come to this 2-minute situation, this is the guy who you want the ball in his hands. He has his own situation, his 2-minute offense. I know I got a chance to play with him at Green Bay, and a lot of times it was just him calling the offense. He would tell LaFleur, hey, I got us. So he's going to have his guys in the right frame of mind to go up and make a play for them and potentially win this football game. When you're between the hashes, a lot of times coaches will tell you is catch and get vertical or catch and get down, because you don't want to waste time trying to fight for out of bounds. You don't want to waste time trying to make guys miss. Get down, and we'll have the next play try to fight for a first down. Absolutely. And for the Steelers defense, I would love for them to show pressure but then back off, because when you get Lamar Jackson utilizing his feet, that's when he becomes most dangerous. Getting him out of the pocket, seeing downfield to get to Zay Flowers or to Mark Andrews, and to potentially getting the drive going to put them in a position to potentially win this game. Wow. And again, they can have the opportunity where they don't need to take shots at the end zone. The Ravens offense can give the ball to their king, Derrick Henry, and allow him to pick up some yardage to then put them in a position to kick a field goal and win this game with Tyler Lue. And that's a big W for the Steelers defense. Like I said earlier, showing pressure but then backing off, because we would rather have Lamar Jackson sit in the pocket utilizing his arm versus getting his feet inactive and potentially finding a lane, getting a first down, and giving some more momentum to this Ravens offense. And that's some big growth from Lamar Jackson right there, because I feel like earlier in his career he would try so hard to make the big play and to be the superhero and try to find a way to either get out of that tackle or get the ball to someone. Be smart. Don't turn a bad play into a worse play. Get the ball out of bounds. We can fight for it on 4th and 7. When in doubt, I say it all the time, go to your tight end. Isaiah Likely goes up high to make a big catch on 4th and 7, continuing the drive. Not only continuing to drive, potentially continuing their season. And you got to feel for the rookie, Tyler Loop. Obviously, the Ravens fought back so hard to get back in this position. Lamar Jackson was playing at an elite level. You feel for a rookie trying to win the game for his guys. Like you said, pushed it right, but that's just the game of football. You win, you ride the highs and lows. The Steelers are going to the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers has another opportunity to cement his career as the NFL Hall of Famer.
3rd and 1 really opens up your playbook, but I love the way that Kyle Monangai runs the ball. Obviously a Big Ten guy, plays with aggression, looks to get the first down every time he has the ball in his hands, and looks to deliver pain every time he's running the ball. No, and that, again, we just talked about how silly penalties will make your coach lose hair, and you just had him backed up. The 49ers had it backed up in a long 3rd down situation, and now you give them an easy first down, and it can continue the drives and continue to take time off the clock as well to potentially score and put them up 7 points. And that was big Kalia Davis, number 93, making the play, sniffing it out. There's a lot of trickeration that Ben Johnson loves to use with his tight ends, with his running back. Got a little Mahomes-esque underhand pitch right there by Caleb Williams. But Davis sniffs it out, and, again, we got another long 3rd down situation. And a big drop because, again, it's 4th down, and you have to go for it on these situations. And Ben Johnson is looking at his play sheet like, what can we do? What can we do to have potentially get this 4th down conversion and give ourselves a chance to win, give themselves a chance to win? But like you said, that's a big drop. And he's been having a good game, been making plays for them all day, but in that one moment, he just wasn't able to come up with the catch. Colson Loveland's been playing out of his mind, and a lot of these young guys have been coming along as well. I think they follow Caleb Williams pretty well in the way that he leads, the way that he's become a leader. Like you said, he's trying to be the Iceman. So I think they're really taking behind him and love the way that he's playing football.
I'm guessing something you would say in the huddle. When in doubt, look at your tight end.
When in doubt, go to the tight end.
Right?
It was completely different.
Yeah.
I got drafted in the 10th round. I was waiting on day 3, to possibly hear my name called, phone ring and everything, and it unfortunately didn't come. Didn't get signed, and it didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
And I was a 2020s baby. So,
yeah.
I mean, from the draft to July, it was silence. Like, I didn't hear anything. I actually picked up a job as a bouncer at a rooftop bar in Iowa because I needed something to fill my time.
Wow.
And, they didn't know if the season was going to happen or anything. We didn't even know if we were going to play football. So I was really just training with no end in sight. Just waking up every day at 10 to go train, like really thinking, like, am I going to do this? Do I need to go back to school? Do I need to, like, I had no idea what was next. And then I just kept going. I mean, talking to my parents, talking to family, they're just like, just keep going. I mean, something's gonna come. It has to. You've been working your tail off for 5 years. Like, something has to come. And then, of course, finally got a call from the Colts that they wanted to come bring me in for a workout. And then I just said, I'm going to just go 100 miles an hour. I don't know nothing about playing tight end. I have no idea. I don't know what a 9 tech is. I have no idea what that means. He was like, and it was funny because the first drill he goes, we got a 9 tech. You're running outside zone. I want you to stretch. I was like, so you want me to go that way? He goes, yeah. I said, that's all you needed to say. All that extra was so I killed that, and then they signed me. And then it was really the ball kept rolling from there.
Wow. And then, as we go forward there, like, how did that kind of experience where you were waiting, right, and hoping, and then how did that kind of shape you as you went forward?
It was, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Like, I got that taste of the NFL.
Yeah.
I told myself, there's no going back now.
Yeah.
I was finally there. I was there with the Colts for 2 weeks for camp. Obviously, we didn't have any any games, preseason games or anything because of COVID. So we just practiced against each other, had a scrimmage against each other, but then got cut in that last cut. But to myself, there's no going back now.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing. I came back with a whole different mindset, was training differently, eating differently. And then I always tell this funny story of, like, I almost blocked my own blessing because it was 2020, so it was a campaign year.
Right.
And I get a call from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I was like, oh, this is spam. Hung up.
Oh, no.
They called me back. I said, well, spam doesn't normally call you back. So I picked up the phone. They're like, no, this is the Packers. Like, we want to sign you to the practice squad. I said, oh, okay, yeah. So then once that hit, same thing. I got to Green Bay, and I literally every day from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., I'm in the room. I'm study my playbook.
Yeah.
That's it. I was in the facility. I was at my hotel room, and that kind of that first instance let me know, like, this is what I want to do, and there's no going back to anything else. Mine is from a kind of an unsung hero. Is my assistant tight end coach when I was in Green Bay, who's Kevin Koger, who's the tight end coach at the Falcons now. And we spent so much time together in that building because, like I said, I didn't know a thing about tight end. So we spent hours in the tight end room just literally going over defensive fronts, how to play tight end, the playbook, the routes, everything. We went over everything for hours and hours and hours. And when I finally got to play my first game, he kind of could see that nervousness in me, because I went undrafted, went unsigned. I've never played tight end, and he could kind of see it in me. He just walked up to me and was like, "You belong here. You put so much on the line. You sacrificed for everything that you went through to get here. You belong in this situation."
Wow.
And, like, I just think about that all the time. It's like the work really matters, and it's going to show. And we put in so much work to get there. And I was like, he said that, and it was just like air was just out, and I just went out there and just played at 100%. So I always take that with me everywhere I go.
Man, that's cool. Who do you admire now at the tight end spot in the league?
I'm an Iowa guy, so I got to say George Kittle, right?
You got a lot of guys to choose from.
I mean, I guess, George, TJ, Noah, got some guys,
yeah.
but I really do look up to George.
Yeah.
Because I live out in Nashville. He's got his whole 3-story barn, training facility out there, so I learn a lot from him as far as football, but also life, and how he handles himself. You see him on commercials, being goofy, right? Riding deer, selling pizza.
Yeah.
So, like, I take a lot from him and how he takes care of his business on the football field, off the football field, as well as his body. So I take a lot from him and what he's been able to instill in us, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual, because they're all into, being where your feet are. Yeah. So that's the message that they like to put out. So I take a lot from them and the Kittle family, and I owe a lot to them, honestly. Agreed. Like, not only did you add another week, we're adding more destination games.
Yeah.
We're in Australia. So now we got to talk about more time that we need, because we just
on those games are terrible.
You just flew on a flight for 14 hours.
Yeah.
Not only am I sore from the game, I'm sore because I'm sitting in a box that flies. So now you have to get another bye week. I feel like if you want that, that's the only option.
Yeah.
Because now the wear and tear is going to go up. The game's getting faster. The guys are getting stronger. Football is getting better. And you're asking them to travel now 3, 4, 5 time zones away and play football and then come back right after. It's like we got to figure out a way to get an extra bye week in there if we're going to add extra games and extra destinations, so that guys can get the rest that they need, so they can come back to 100%. And like you said, so the product doesn't diminish because of these extra games.
Yeah. What do you think of the way the league is expanding the international series?
I mean, I love it. I think we they see. I can tell they see the soccer numbers, and they want that.
Yeah.
People are, we saw 150 million people were watching the Super Bowl. Oh, well, 300 million were watching a regular Tuesday night soccer game.
Right.
So it's a bit different. So you could tell that they see that and they're trying to compete. So I love the fact that they're trying to get these Mexico games, Australia, more Europe. I think it's good for the brand. But again, I think we need to look at the product and say, how can we take care of them as well as we build the brand? Yeah. How can we, the argument of our field, what do we play on? The argument of how many bye weeks do we have? How much rest do we, that's going to have to come into account if you're going to keep, going to further and further, destinations. We're going to have to figure out the best way to get guys back healthy. So then when you go over to Germany, the game is still the game when it is in Cali.
Yeah.